Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Nate. If we have not met before, welcome. Thank you for joining us here on MinPin Nation. Today's video, we're going to be talking about dog dental health. We're going to be talking about what is dog dental health, some care that you can do for them at home, what are some warning signs that you should be taking them to, their local vet to get seen, and then also finally we're going to talk about those dreaded costs that are going to be associated with taking them to the vet. Now, if this is your first time with us, we'd like to initiate all newcomers by having them hit the like button down below and making it turn into a beautiful blue color. So go ahead and do that right now and we will get started with the video. Have you done it yet? Okay, great. So when it comes to dog dental disease, actually it is one of the most common type of disease that is developed in dogs. In fact, according to the American Veterinary Society, 80% of all dogs, this includes min pins, will develop some type of what's called periodontal disease by the time they reach the age of 3 years old. Now, what exactly is periodontal disease? That is actually a disease that is inside the gums, where the gum meets the tooth, and it's where that plaque turns to tartar and it kind of builds up, and eventually if it's left untreated it could result in them deteriorating the bone there and actually it having to be the tooth extracted. And kind of just like human teeth, once your min pin grows up, is no longer a puppy, then they will have full grown teeth that cannot be replaced if it has to be extracted. Okay, so when it comes to taking care of them at home, right, the best way that I've noticed is you really want to develop some type of routine. So we talk about routine a lot on this channel. We talk about consistency and we talk about a schedule. So kind of draft up your schedule and then make sure it fits into your already daily routine, daily, weekly, monthly routine, and you'll better be able to execute it. So something that I've never really done before and didn't really think about until recently, kind of getting ready for this video actually, was that's using like the dog dental wipes. And I actually don't have any right now with me, but basically they're wipes, think of them like small little, moist towelette type of wipes, and they can actually you can just wipe your dog's teeth down. And this will help, when they have that initial, you can do about once a day, and this is usually a good daily activity. And for one, it will help just to get rid of that excess food that's kind of just stuck there before it really gets lodged in between their teeth and becomes a problem. And also, it will help, especially if you have dogs that are shy, or maybe you're trying to train them how to use like a toothbrush. That's right, that's the secret weapon here. While you're training them to do that, this will actually help them to kind of get used to it. And once again, like we always talk on this channel, try to do things when they're not always having to be, automatic. So if you've not ever trained your dog to do any type of kind of that training, that adaptation training, and you kind of haven't, they touch their paws and touch their mouth and everything. We did a video where we kind of talked about that training with your puppy, but whether you've never done it or not, this is a good time to do it. But the key point here is that don't just walk in with your wipe and try to start shoving it in their mouth without them ever knowing. So if they're not used to you messing with their mouth, and you may need to do some time of some training, and we'll link some videos up here and also down in the description on that can kind of help you with getting them used to you and understanding so you don't get bit. Okay, so after you've established and you're using your type of wipes, the next thing you're going to do, which is really the most powerful tool that we're going to learn today, is it's actually brushing, their teeth. That's right. If you never thought about it, actually brushing your dog's teeth, just like you brush your own teeth, just like you brush your kid's teeth, whatever, it's very important. And the key thing is going back to the periodontal disease. If you don't get up in there and kind of into the gums, which is only going to be accomplished with some type of toothbrush, then you're not going to be able to truly get their mouth clean. So when it comes to the toothbrush, and once again we'll link some recommended toothbrushes down below that the council recommends, make sure that you either get ones that are intended for dogs, and they usually there's maybe we have one right here that's kind of shaped a little bit differently, and it's kind of like more tilted actually, so you can get in there a little bit easier. And then also sometimes they make these I don't have one right now, but they make these kind of, you put them on your finger, kind of like you would use for like a baby maybe, and it kind of, you can do it that way, and some find that easier to use with their Min Pin. So definitely experiment with both, like I said, and kind of see what works with both of you guys. And then actually the most important part here is also the toothpaste that you're going to use. Now there's a lot of different toothpastes on there. I mean, like I said, here's just an example of one here. And then the purpose of these toothpastes is that they are intended for dogs. This one's chicken flavor, so I don't know if I would try it because I don't think chicken flavor, we don't really think of that with tooth, but I don't know, maybe it tastes good. So the key point is that you always want to only use a dog toothpaste. So never try to use, any of your human toothpaste that you would use. Don't ever use for a dog. Usually those contain some type of a product that's called xylitol, and that is potentially really fatal to dogs. So always check the product that you have, and you shouldn't find any dog specific toothpaste that would hurt your Min Pin. But just in case, xylitol, and we'll spell it out here with an X, xylitol. Make sure you check the ingredients for that, like I said, and never ever give your toothpaste that you use for yourself to your dog. Okay, so now we're going to talk about some of the warning signs that you need to be looking for to then make sure you take him to the vet. Now the first thing when you're starting to look for warning signs is you want to make sure you hit the like button on this video, and that way it recommends to all the other Min Pin owners out there that don't know about this channel. They gotta know, right? So make sure you hit that like button, and that will help us move on to the next spot. Okay, so the best way to show this, and we'll show here on the screen here, is there's different stages of the periodontal disease. And actually, so we pulled this from the American Dentistry for Veterinarians College. They have this sweet infographic of kind of showing the different stages. So I'll make sure to also link this down below in the description so you can go check it out for yourself. But if you're looking at it here, they talk about different stages, right? So, and different treatments on the right side here. So if you look at, stage 0, they like to call for periodontal, you can see that pretty much this is what you should be doing for home care. The bones look good. There's no bone loss, no inflammation in the gums. Everything looks kind of clean. It's good to go. Then we move on down there to stage 1, and then there's a kind of slight buildup of tartar there. You can see in the left picture. But then also when they take the X-ray, there's still no bone loss, which is a good sign. But also their gums are starting to redden a little bit. And as it says there, this could be where brushing their teeth could be painful. Now that definitely recommend you still do that, but it is, possibly could be a problem there. And then so they still talk about treatment, kind of making sure that you still get, home care, and then that you go get regular professional teeth cleaning done periodically. Okay, once it moves on to the stage 2, periodontal disease there, you can see that the gums are swollen in that picture there, and then you start to look in the X-ray, and this is the key point there. It starts to, it says it could be from 0 up to 25% of bone loss, and the problem with there is, once again, you're not noticing huge issues on the, just looking at your dog's mouth, but the X-ray is showing it right there. And as it says there, when they're here, they definitely need some type of teeth cleaning, ASAP. So make sure that, when you're getting them checked out, if they're regular visits, that if your vet for whatever reason isn't checking on them, make sure that you tell them to check their teeth or go get a new vet. Come on. So if you look at stage 3 here, so you can kind of, it's hard to see in the left picture, but if you look in the X-ray, you can start to see that there's definitely some type of bone loss that is going on. And once again, the problem here is that you may not know until you get X-rays done. And then at this point, if you've lost that much bone loss, they just talk about an extraction is going to have to be needed, and then maybe some type of advanced treatment. And like I said, the problem here is once it's extracted, it's not going to return, and you can't grow it back like we talked about. And then honestly, unless you do some crazy stuff to get some type of care for it, then the extraction is going to be your only solution to this problem. And then it talks about here stage 4 with periodontal disease. You can really see that it continues to eat away at the bones, and all those teeth with the blue X's, if you can see them there, all of those need to be extracted. So this dude is not in a good place right now. So definitely hopefully you catch this before you get to that point and make sure you get them treated right away. Okay, and so, we're going to talk about some of signs that you need to be taking them in. So obviously you can look at this stuff here, but actually the number one sign that they need some type of dental work is their breath smells bad. That's right. So there's kind of this weird myth that, you just kind of have doggy breath and, it just smells bad. But actually your dog's breath should basically just smell like nothing. That's right. Now sure, maybe after they eat some treats or they eat their food, they may have some type of smell. But in general, they shouldn't have bad breath. So if your min pin comes running up to you and, sitting on you with the couch and you start, panting in your face and it smells bad, then that means there's a problem with their teeth, with their gums, with something. So make sure for sure if you see that sign that you get them checked out, because that probably means that while they're at an early stage most likely of this disease developing, it is definitely something that can happen. So I would get them checked out. Just my recommendation. I do want to say once again that I'm not a veterinarian, I'm not a professional trained in any kind, so make sure any of this advice that you hear in this video, you definitely do your own research beyond this and that you go talk to your local vet with any problems that you have. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about taking them to the vet and some of the costs that's going to be associated with it. Now, I say this and people, I even wondered the same thing, but pretty much regardless of what type of dental care that you do at home, your dog is always going to need some type of professional cleaning. Now there's a bunch of different various figures that are given out there, but usually every 3 to 5 years, they're going to need some type of dental cleaning. And this is regardless of how good you brush their teeth, how well you wipe their teeth every day, they're going to need some type of cleaning. Now, I don't want you not to do those things because then it can make it compound and make it even worse. But regardless, know and keep it in mind in your budget. We'll talk about that here in a second, that they're going to need it at some point. Okay, so what is kind of a dog dental cleaning? So when they go into the vet, now this is a professional cleaning and it is something that is done under anesthesia, general anesthesia. So when they do it, that is going to contribute to the cost, and also they do that because there's absolutely no way for them to clean the dog's teeth, obviously, when they are awake. So we looked at some cost here, and I actually scoured all over the US. I called a bunch of different vets to get some very up-to-date prices here. And this is, as of the time of this recording, the average is roughly, because it depends on weight and it depends on age and it depends on any work needs to be done. But a general cleaning is going to cost you anywhere from about $300 was about the average on the low end, up to some places were way high, but the average was about, I'd say $400 to $450. So $300 to about $450 is what we're going to say based on our research here in the United States. Now, also, that kind of is the general cleaning, and that was based on a dog that weighed about 12 pounds. So if your min pin weighs less than that, then it obviously could be a little bit less, and a lot of that has to do with the general anesthesia and how much they need, or it could be a lot more. Now, some other factors you got to think about with cost is, while that may be the cleaning, you also need to think about, usually they're going to have some type of exam. So usually you can kind of couple that, here's the trick there, couple that with like their annual exam. So if you know their annual exam's coming up, go ahead and see if you can schedule kind of them to look at their teeth at the same time. And most vets are going to do that anyways, but then that kind of takes care of that. If not, then you obviously are going to have to schedule some type of follow-on exam that's going to be their normal exam fee. So you're going to have the initial exam, they're going to look at their teeth, and then you're also, depending on where you live in the country, some places did, some places didn't. If they're above the age of 7, which is considered a senior dog, then they actually will have to have some type of blood work done. So 7 was the age that's kind of the senior dog, and like I said, it varies. Probably about 50% of the places that I talked to said that you had to have some type of dental blood workup. Now, this wouldn't be just because you're getting a dentist work done. This could be any type of surgery that you're getting done for an older dog, and that's just they want to make sure that they are good to go under some type of anesthesia. And if they obviously don't pass that, then they're gonna recommend that they don't actually get their teeth cleaned. So there's that price there. That usually looked about between $50 and $100 is what I saw roughly on average for that. And then once they're looking at their teeth, and they'll probably usually know up front, they're going to get the x-rays done, and then they're going to look for any type of teeth that need to be possibly extracted. Now the extraction kind of was a big range. And it was honestly, I saw some as little as like $20 a tooth, all the way up to $100, $150 a tooth. So I don't really have a good recommendation on that, but definitely, obviously, when you talk to your vet, find out all those costs up front. So when it comes to the actual cleaning, like I said, looking at the total cost here, you're looking, on the low end, probably about $500, $550, all the way up to, could be about $600, $700. So that's not cheap, and I understand that. So, but definitely know that this is something that's going to have to be happening consistently. So definitely put it in your budget and write it down, because it is definitely important and definitely something that will, it's going to happen to your min pin if you don't do something about it. If you have more questions all about this, like I said, I'll link all these articles down in the description below. There's really a lot to learn about dental hygiene for your min pin, and definitely make sure that you do it right by them. And also, if you've not got a min pin yet, and maybe you're looking at getting one, and we're kind of talking about costs here, there are some costs associated with getting your first min pin, or just any min pin at all. So we'll link a video over here that talks about the real cost of getting a min pin, and I guess you could add the dental stuff to that as well now. All right, so we'll see you over there. Have a great day out here.